two people, Brenda and Joshua, did what everyone thought it was the most impossible thing. Joshua, who had become homeless because of debts, his wife had left him and he was about to commit suicide, but turned his life in 1 month and paid all his debts and was back on his feet. But this sounds like an impossible thing for anyone to believe. And even me, I didn't believe it. Not until another woman, Brenda, who was in a worse predicament than Joshua, paid her debts in an astonishingly 3 weeks. Is this true? How can someone pay all their debts in just such a short time? How can billions of people who are in debt fail to get such a trick that can help them pay their debts? Yes, it is true that the whole world is engulfed in debts. Be specific, $300 trillion in debt. Everyone is in debt. Student loans, credit card debts, name everything. So, what did these two people use to pay their debt so quickly? And is it even real? And how can we use these techniques to overcome our own everyday debts? The answer to these questions is that these two people never used conventional ways of getting out of debt. They used unconventional tricks. Even though the tricks they used still fall in normal methods of paying debt, like boosting your income, choosing a debt repayment strategy, creating a budget, assessing your debt, and so much more. The tricks they employed is what turned both Josh and Brenda into geniuses. But don't worry, these are still moral and legal methods and tricks. Don't be like, what if these are immoral methods, like telling Drake to hit on my infant sister and we get the bag, man? Don't worry, your young sister is safe from Drake. So, how do we know that the story of Brenda and Joshua is true? Well, the bank published the reports about how they paid their debt and everyone was astonished. But I'm not here to read to you what was in these reports. That's boring. No. This is entertainment. So we shall gamify the methods these two people used so as to make this learning experience very amusing and engaging. But first, disclaimer. The truth and effectiveness of these methods may vary, so kindly consult your financial advisor, investor, or your bank. For Brenda and James to win and pay back their debts in weeks' time, the methods they used can be categorized into 3 categories, i.e. creative, conventional, and effective. In this category, the one who comes up with the best plan gets the highest points. And ladies and gentlemen, let's rumble! 1. Creative way of paying debt. In this category, it's very necessary for the one who comes up with an additional job that can create more and more and more money. Joshua decides to become a professional line stander. Yes, that's a job. You want a new iPhone but don't want to stand in a queue? Call Joshua. Or new sneakers and you don't want to be in the queue? Call Joshua. For $90.99 per service, you will get your new iPhone and your new shoes without being in a queue. On the other side, Brenda decided to turn into a professional caterer. Yes, for incels who haven't felt the touch of a woman, Brenda is here for you. You can have a human touch for $50 an hour. So Brenda on this stage made a lot of money, more than Josh, so she wins this category. Woo-hoo! Now the question remains, does Brenda continue winning or Joshua takes on and becomes our mentor on how to unconventionally pay debts? Let's see with category number 2. Unconventional ways of paying debts. This way is referred to as financial jiu-jitsu. In this method, points go to the one who comes up with a higher pay, even if the risk is higher. Here, Brenda decided that yes, marrying a man will help her pay her debts. Yes, if a man can't pay your bills, is useless. Sprinkle, sprinkle. But she is in a big trouble. The guy she thought had money was just a scammer pretending to be rich. So she just got pennies from him. On the other side, Joshua decides to do debt recycling. where he gets loans with low interest to pay the loans with higher interest, making him pay lower interest on all his loans, and Josh wins this round. So it's a draw. Who will win? Of course, wait for part 3. Effective ways to pay debt. Let's call this method extreme hustle. Yes, we have to get the grind to the maximum in this method. The participants have to do anything possible to earn a little extra money. Brenda sells her life, well, I mean belongings like furniture, a second car, and all other things to get her loan payment. While Joshua decides to turn into a guinea pig. Yes, he goes for every medical experiment, and including the South Park experiment. But all these experiments were paying peanuts. So Brenda was able to win this round, making her the champion of the whole paying your debt competition. So that, my friend, is some of the unconventional ways to pay your debt. And if you find yourself in a very bad debt, it's time to change all the mentality and go nuclear. And maybe that's where the answer for all your problems will be. Thanks for watching.